And we're live.
Good morning, everyone. It's the one, the only V, the Gorilla Economist, coming to you live with my main man, El Cuco, who's on the airwaves, making sure it's coming out nice and smooth because he is working the flux capacitors. With that being said, you can check us out, roguemoney.net. Rogue Money on YouTube and Rogue Money on Twitter. Oh, this is after Rogue Money Facebook. Rogue Money everywhere you want us to be. Where you want us to be there, we're there. We're just there. We're just everywhere. I mean, they can't escape us at this point, right, Teach?
Nowhere. There's no part of the globe that they can get to, V, that they won't catch Rogue Money.
That's right. You're not safe. There's nowhere in the world that you can hide from Rogue Money. And with that being said, guys, you can also check out our sponsors, RemainCalm.net. RemainCalm.net, the services end of our business. Check them out, check them out, check them out. They got the gold USB if you want to surf the web anonymously. If you need a better credit score, you're tired of being treated like a second-class citizen, you said, what, enough's enough. I don't want to live as a 500 or 600. I want to be a 700 or an 800 on a credit score. Get a hold of these guys. They will fix up your credit. They will set you straight. If you got banksters trying to come after you, telling you they're going to sue you, they're going to take you down. You got some collections agencies after you. Call RemainCom. Get a hold of them. RemainCom.net. These guys could fix you up, get you in their smart banking option, which I think every man, woman, and child in this country should have. A smart banking option that will protect you against any sort of levies, liens, and also check out their funding. If you need money, if you got no credit troubles, your credit has a 680 or better, you're sitting pretty, you'd like to get some money for whatever, investments or cryptos or whatever the heck it is you want to do. Maybe it's buying an exotic Porsche 911 GT2 RS because you too want to blaze around the Nürburgring in under 7 minutes. Check them out, RemainCalm.net. They'll get you up to $600,000 unsecured. With that being said, CJ, what's happening, brother?
It's Friday, V. I'm pumped up, ready to go.
It's Friday. It's Friday. Do, 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 do.
I don't know about you, V, but I am super excited. It's right in your backyard, and my son was trying to encourage me to get tickets, but UFC 217,
I
huge
know.
night.
I can't wait. Can't wait. It's gonna be a great fight
Huge
card, man.
night.
Huge. I can't wait, man. You got Michael Bisping against GSP, George St. Pierre, back after a 4-year hiatus. We have TJ Dillashaw against Cody Garbrandt. That's going to be a great fight. Even the women's card is going to be great, man. Joanna Jacendrek with what's her name, Rose Mamanuanas, whatever. I can't even say her last name.
Yeah, you nailed
Mamawana, whatever. But it's going to
not marijuana.
Mama Sway. Mama Nunes. That's what it is. Mama Nunes. Rose Mama Nunes. It's going to be a great card. If you guys haven't gotten it already, I'm just going to go ahead and buy the damn fight card. It's going to be awesome. Great fight card tomorrow. UFC 217, baby.
Yeah, we need to get with Dana and say, hey, you need to do some sponsorship with Rogue here.
Seriously.
Anytime there's a fight on, we're talking about it. But let me tell you something. I have created a monster with my oldest son. Both my kids do karate, jiu-jitsu, and all that. So we're in the other day driving home from school, V, okay? And he connects to the Bluetooth, and he's playing these songs. I'm like, where in the world are these songs? Where are these songs coming from? He goes, I created a playlist. I'm like, what do you mean playlist? He goes, my favorite fighters, I listened to their walkout songs and I downloaded all their music.
Wow.
So he created a whole playlist of walkout music from his favorite fighters, which I thought was pretty cool.
Awesome, dude. Wow. That's fantastic. That's awesome.
But anyway, I know that there is one or more two things more important to talk about than UFC. So
what can possibly be more important, CJ, than UFC 217? I, for one, I'm going to sit in front of my television with a bucket of chicken wings. That's what I'm going to do, and a nice cold one.
Nice.
Yeah, buddy.
Nice.
Yeah, buddy. That's what I'm gonna do. Anyway, man, what do you want to get into today? We've got a lot of crap.
Well, let's go ahead and jump in. Let's talk a little bit around government dependency. How as a society we've been conditioned to it, right? They teach us to trust government, to be involved with government. New statistics came out that Congress again has in the teens as far as government approval rating, like is it 13 or 17%, somewhere in there. It's pointless anyway. But more importantly, V, let's talk about how government plays a part in determining the winners and losers as far as corporations, technology. And we're watching one company, V, that I know that you have some real conversation about regarding their automobile that is really starting to lay off people. They're cutting productions. They're seeing the writing on the wall, V.
Yep. I've been to all of you idiots in Silicon Valley. You idiots in Silicon Valley should stick to what you do. You should stop. You should lay off the social justice warrior BS. That's number one. And number two, Silicon Valley, get off this machination that you Silicon Valley nerds could actually build a car. You can't. You have no concept. Building a car is not like building a computer, you morons. Now, that out of the way, let me describe to you the eventual failing of a car company that I've been warning about for years at this point. It is none other than Tesla. Okay? It is a fraudulent carbon trading company that happens to be masquerading as a car manufacturer. Now, Tesla had the worst day ever the other day, CJ. And what's going to happen? Well, it seems like Musk is going to be out there talking more BS, selling more crap, telling people how his Hyperloop, telling people about how he's going to people on Mars. This guy is a snake oil salesman par excellence. There's no doubt about it. And let's put it this way. One day after announcing the worst quarter in history, now this is a company that's never made a penny. It hasn't turned a profit, okay? Not only that, the cars are a piece of crap. I, for one, have an eye for detail. I'm not giving over to marketing BS. So when I go up to a car, especially a vehicle, guess what I'm looking at? Panels. When I see so many misaligned panels on Teslas, it eats at me, okay? Why is this car $70, $60, $70, $80, $90, $100,000 with misaligned panels? With poor workmanship? Why are they just spontaneously combusting sitting in your driveway or your garage? These are the things that people need to ask. And what the hell do you do when that stupid battery eventually runs out and it needs time for replacement? Have you thought of that? Well, I'll just get another car. In this economy, when the average car on the road is 11 years old, think for a second, folks. Okay? Now, this company that's burned a record $1.4 billion in cash last quarter. That's billion with a B.
Huge. That's huge.
Billion with a B. That means every single day, Elon Musk was lighting up $15 million loss every single day. 15.5 million every single day. Okay? And here's the deal. I told you guys this such a long time ago. Tesla will exist continuing to peddle their bullshit just so long as they get a government subsidy to exist. Once that stupid subsidy is gone, it's gone. Because unlike this stupor that exists where people think that electric cars are the new future. It's not. I've been calling it forever. It's going to be hydrogen fuel cells in some sort of a hybrid with internal combustion. Because internal combustion engines, whether you love them or hate them, and I freaking love them, are incredibly efficient, and they produce practically zero hydrocarbons with the new emissions technologies that are being put on these things, okay? Now, these electric cars, the Teslas, the Nissan Leafs, the Chevy Bolts, this, that, and the other, they exist because, and they are quote-unquote buyable because of these massive tax subsidies. Now, you got a bunch of representatives in government that are getting together, not just the GOPs, but even on some of the Democrats, because it doesn't make any sense. And they're proposing a tax bill that eliminates the very, it basically lops off the government boob that Tesla has been suckling on since its inception, and that is the taxpayer subsidies. Okay, good riddance, you SOB, because what Tesla's doing, folks, they build cars, yes. They don't make a damn. They lose money on every single car they build. They're making their money off these, the whatever advantage they get with these government handouts and subsidies, and they're carbon trading. They're heavily invested in carbon trading with the state of California. And why is that important, you might ask? Well, every car sold in the country has to be CARB legal, California Air Regulatory Board. Okay, CARB legal. So what's good for California, what a bunch of fruits, flakes, and nuts in California think about quote unquote air quality should be good for the rest of the country. And that's the problem right there. So they're in the back, they're in the in cahoots with the CARB agency. They get a piece of the pie. So if some new car manufacturer, if Mercedes wants to make a car to sell to the United States, it's got to be CARB legal. They got to pay a fee for that. Every manufacturer on every single new model that they want to sell has to pay a fee to get CARB legal or CARB certified. Okay? Without which they can't sell a car in the United States. This is the scheme that's been running. The snake oil sale, the sneaky little bastard called Elon Musk knew this. And that's how he was able to, really, take advantage of this whole entire thing. His cars suck. They suck. I can't emphasize that to you as much as I can. Now, any one of you Tesla owners write to me and say, V, I own a Tesla. Bro, you never owned a real car. Shut up. Have a seat. Have a seat. You want to own a real car? Come see me, okay? I'll find one of my muscle machines. I'll strap you in and let you feel 800 horsepower and what a 9-second quarter mile feels like. Anyway, Tesla, General Motors, serious. I can't stand these little trendies with their little stupid Teslas. I want to run them off the road. Oh, look, I have ludicrous speed mode. I can go 0 to 60 in 2.3 seconds. That's fine. I'll rip you after the quarter mile. You're dead. After the quarter mile, you're done for. Anyway, driving around with range anxiety where you got to go find a place to go plug in your car and wait around for 8 hours for it to charge. Get the hell out of here. It's crazy. Anyway, General Motors and other car manufacturers are pushing to boost electric sales. Okay, they're trying to, but what happens? Americans keep buying pickup trucks. Americans keep buying SUVs and large cars. The market is not interested in stupid electric vehicles. You can't cram it down our throats. Electrical vehicles are unreliable. They're not built well. There's all sorts of technical issues that go along with them, number one. Number two, who the hell wants to drive around an electrical vehicle worrying about range anxiety? Ooh, I want to show off my ludicrous mode on my Tesla. Bloom, look, honey, 0 to 60 in 2.3 seconds. Wow, my range just went from 250 miles. Now it's only 180. Crap, what do I do now? I guess we can't go to Kansas. So here's the deal. If adopted, this will repeal, okay, would take effect after the 2017 tax year. And what it does, it gets rid of this credit, all right? And once that credit is gone, that's it. There's nothing else left to do except for Elon Musk to take his snake oil and go back to South Africa from which he has come. That's it. The handwriting's on the wall. You cannot suck off the government teat, the taxpayers' teat, and squander them and pretend to be that you're some sort of profitable company. And the idiots in Wall Street, well, they're not idiots. They know the hype and they're trading the hype. So they'll trade the hype. But these trendies, like, dude, I go to like certain YouTube channels just to watch a review on a phone that I like or a tablet. And now these idiots are reviewing cars. They're reviewing Tesla like, this is the Tesla Model S. I'm like, listen, you limp-wristed beta male with a 200 level testosterone. You don't know jack about cars. Why are you reviewing this car? And they're talking about like it's great because it's trendy. I have a Tesla. I hate them. Anyway, I had to get that out, CJ. I had to get that out. I feel better now. Thank you, man. Thank you. This is cathartic.
Yeah, I'm glad you had your moment, V. But yeah, I completely agree. I mean, governments shouldn't be in the business of creating markets, right? I mean, tell me what industry, what marketplace that the government has been involved in that has been successful. Let's talk about student loans, right? Let's talk about guaranteeing student loans, okay?
Oh, yeah.
You know what's happened there. Let's talk about vaccine manufacturers, basically giving vaccine manufacturers a get out of jail free card, no product liability. Now we're having vaccines that are being targeted and produced as if vaccines aren't killing humanity enough. Now they're starting to produce these vaccines that are specifically designed for people 50 years and older. V, come on. It's
50 years,
absurd.
because these a-holes, these sycophant a-holes, want all of us vaccinated for the rest of our lives. How about this? How about we take these CEOs of these pharmaceutical companies, strap them down, and every single vaccine they want to propose, we inject them all at the same time. Tie them up and just inject all the vaccines into them at the same time. All 58 shots, right there on the same day. Right into their necks, CJ. That's what we should do. Right into their necks, one after the other.
Yeah, so again, the writing's on the wall in regards to these tax credit, the electric automobile industry, and let the free market, let the market decide what they want. And you're absolutely right. People are continuing to buy the trucks, the SUVs, the Jeeps. People, you cannot create a marketplace. Okay, it's very difficult. Unless like the iPhone, things like that are created that have huge markets. But for the government to step in and say, we're going to pick and decide who are the winners and the losers in any industry is just absurd.
Yeah, because if the government gets in and picks the winners and losers, it's going to be the American public that's going to lose. Period. Every single time. They wrecked healthcare. They wrecked student loans. They wrecked pretty much everything. Okay, we just can't do this. It's got to stop. And here's another government wrecking. A wonderful idea here, brought to you by the Wonder Mavens at the Military Industrial Complex. 2 weeks ago, CJ and I reported that the vaunted F-35, the flying chicken, which 100 of them are being mothballed because they can't even be upgraded to the newest level. Now it turns out there's over 200 of them that are already corroding. They're literally rotting away as they sit to be deployed. Siege.
Not good. Not good at all. Not good at all.
Dude, this is almost $1 trillion taxpayer-funded boondoggle?
Well, as this article goes on to state, I mean, the problems plaguing the F-35, where do we begin? I mean, it's a $1.5 trillion jet program, has worked through several issues, including engine fires, unsafe helmets that can snap pilots' necks, pilots experiencing hypoxia, flawed ejection seats. This thing is a flying piece of garbage, V. I mean, there's really nothing else to say about it. It's a huge waste of taxpayer money, V.
Yep, absolutely correct, man. And it's like when you make the jack of all trades, that's literally the master of literally nothing. Literally nothing. Lockheed Martin initiated a review to determine how many of the 250 brand new, just been produced, jets are suffering from corrosion problems. Just one of the many problems plaguing the F-35. The $1.5 trillion jet program has worked through all sorts of issues. In addition, the U.S. military, South Korea, Japan, Australia, Belgium, Canada, Denmark, Finland, Israel, Netherlands, Norway, Turkey, and the UK are all slated to deploy F-35 aircraft, according to Lockheed's corporate site. The problem is this plane is literally rotting. It's literally corrosion. There's corrosion that's happening within the structure of the airplane that is making its entire structure unsafe. Its skin unsafe. Okay? Unbelievable. So now they're having another delivery pause. Like when are we going to say, you know what? This is a stupid idea. Let us go ahead and cancel this. We don't need this. We can do better. And actually design a plane. Why don't we just improve on the F-22? The F-22 is a freaking great platform. It just has an oxygen sensor problem. Get that situated fixed. Launch more F-22s, man. Get the F-22s back on the table. They're great aircraft. They really are. But no, we wouldn't want to do that. We want to F-35. It's ridiculous. Ridiculous. Again, another government boondoggle. And while the idiots of the United States continue to be morons, we are led by morons, people. I mean, every day I wake up and I face palm myself. I'm like, morons run my country. How do I get rid of these morons? 2018 midterms, folks. That's how we do it. Remember this. 2018 midterms. I'm telling you all this news so I can piss you off, So come 2018, you guys can go ahead and vote these idiots out of office and then demand term limits on congressmen and senators. And while the idiot adolescent congressmen and senators and politicians in D.C. play with our futures and our money, the adults of the world continue to make deals. What's going on with Nigeria and Russia, bro? This is another amazing, earth-shattering deal here.
In particular, when you think of what we're doing there, right, in terms of, certain parts of Africa all over the place there with our troops and everything. So now we're learning that Nigeria and Russia, two of the emerging markets, have signed a huge nuclear deal, V. And this has been 2 years in the works. So basically what's happening is that Nigeria is holding talks with the Russian company Rosatom for the past 2 years to construct 4 nuclear power plants out of a cost of about $20 billion. This is huge.
Massive deal. And what are we doing besides? And this is what I said. Okay, so Nigeria just strikes out this deal with Russia, and I thought to myself, CJ, I thought to myself, oh, Nigeria just struck an energy deal with the Russians. Okay, that means Boko Haram is right around the corner, CJ. Boko Haram is right around the corner. Here comes AFRICOM, and they're going to mobilize their proxy shock troops, and Boko Haram and or some sort of remnant of ISIS will show up in Nigeria, guaranteed. So Nigerians, look out for Boko Haram.
Yeah, they'll speed up the process of deployment, or create some humanitarian crisis to get involved with. There's no doubt about that, V.
Yep. Absolutely. And this just in, the Russian and the Syrian army just fully liberated the city of Deir ez-Zor in Syria. Deir ez-Zor in Syria has been fully liberated. It is an ISIS-free zone. And what the hell are we doing, CJ? What are we doing? Oh, wait, we're funding the terrorists. That's right. I'm telling you, man, our country's run by morons. All right, more moves by the adults of the world. Oh, man, there's some key takeaways here. There's a major meeting from Vladimir Putin just went to Iran. CJ, break this down for us, man. This is huge news, man.
Yeah, this is monumental in terms of the whole landscape in the Middle East, with the political moving in terms of Israel, everything that's being created. How is Russia going to work, with Iran? And they had a key meeting, V, to talk about, a lot of key issues that are plaguing. As everyone knows, that Iran was, instrumental in helping not only in Syria but also in Iraq to fight against ISIS. We all know that Iran and Russia have been attacked economically with economic sanctions, and so now the two have met. I believe it was over several days they had a meeting, and they discussed a lot of key factors. One of which is very eye-opening, V, in terms of, quote unquote, by ignoring the negative propaganda of the enemies that seek to weaken relations between countries, we can nullify U.S. sanctions using methods such as eliminating the dollar and replacing it with national currencies and transactions between two or more parties, thus isolating the Americans. And that's what these sanctions have done. We've shared that. So they're looking at developing what they're calling these sanction busters. So
CJ, so you're saying that all our sanctioning is winding up sanctioning us? And isolating us from the rest of the world.
It's isolating, yeah. It's.
Oh man,
it's kind of, and because we already know, as far as China and promoting the petro yuan in terms of global energy markets, and Iran being an OPEC member, what the transition is going to be, and we'll see this. It's going to be a large step away from the U.S. dollar, and this will be in cooperation with China, Russia, Venezuela. All these countries are already making these moves. In terms of their messaging to Syria, I think this was very important in terms of Iran and Russia's cooperation to free up Syria. You just broke up this, the news is just coming out of there. They will work, coordinating efforts, with Turkey to continue stabilizing in Israel. One of the questions that's always been on my mind is Russia and its relationships, because they do have a good relationship with Israel, and Iran, and what that might look like. So I think with Putin, going to Iran and specifically meeting is kind of a message to Israel to say, look, we know what you're saying, that you're very concerned about Iran as far as their ties, but we're not going to allow that to stop us from continue this development of making strategic partners, throughout the Middle East. So this meeting, in terms of what happens going forth, we will see this messaging continue. So it's kind of almost like a big, middle finger in the air to the United States, that despite all your sanction, everything that's occurring, we're going to continue building the partnership, stabilizing the Middle East, and in part they're all aligned around the mutual agreements with China as far as the entire One Belt One Road projects, and stabilizing the Middle East so that it can become a part of that and even have more success.
Yep, absolutely correct, man. It's huge news, massive news actually, and it's come on, people. It's 2017. Kind of figure that some of these countries will get a clue. Anyway, man, Amazon gets moving on the crypto scene. They have been buying up all sorts of crypto domains. They've been buying up all sorts of technologies related to crypto. They've bought Amazon cryptocurrencies, Amazon Ethereum, Amazon cryptocurrencies.com. They're just doing all this. Why? It's because they're getting ready for the crypto reality and the crypto future, CJ. So that's a great thing, bro.
Yeah, and there's been a lot of speculation regarding Amazon, and they're going to do the same thing. We shared last week regarding Overstock.com moving to the cryptos, even doing their own ICO. Amazon has no choice but to get involved in the crypto space.
Yep. Okay, cool. Yeah. And here's the other thing, bro. Another ICO, one of the world's largest, just collapsed, or is collapsing. This is what we say, CJ, buyer beware.
Yeah, buyer beware. Yeah, in terms of the entire ICO market, you really have to do some homework going in. And last month there was an ICO that basically imploded. Their token purchase was upward in estimates of $230 million at pre-sale, and literally by the end of the year, they basically couldn't even release a product, couldn't deliver anything on their white paper. And now we're learning about another ICO, Bancor, and Bancor attracted a lot of big name capitalist investors. And now we're learning, V, that their initial ICO, which was and again, the entire ICO market space is in upwards of $3 billion, which is huge. But we're learning in part that Bancor's, that their initial funds has plunged by more than 50% since their June ICO.
Yep, absolutely, man. Massive. Seems like the deep state just can't help themselves, man. They want to go to war with North Korea. They just want it, bro. Why?
Yeah, just real quick, just a flash news that came across in regards to a surprise strike deal. So we're learning that on Thursday that the U.S. conducted a simulated attack. Complete surprise. Usually they notify each other's countries that, hey, by the way, we're going to be doing these drills. The U.S. the Air Force did acknowledge that they did this drill, and they did alert that, hey, yeah, we didn't notify anyone that we were going to do this as well. So again, just amazing to witness this, the provocation that's occurring in the peninsula. Is that we need to work to de-escalate things, not hoping that one of these simulated drills is going to draw fire from North Korea, which what would happen right after that, V.
Yep, absolutely correct. Because they're just doing this because they're so loving and they care. They don't want provocation. They just want everything to be all right, man. They just want to be all right, That's crazy, CJ. It really is. Anyway, buddy, that brings us to the end of the program. What do we got lined up for today?
Yeah, I want to thank our listeners for tuning in today. If you have not done so yet, go check out the interview that V and I conducted over with Dave on the X22 Spotlight. We had a great time doing it, so go check that out. And I'm very excited to also share at 2 p.m. today, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Sean from the SGT Report will be joining us today live 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Yay! That's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a lot of fun. And with that being said, guys, we are over and we are out.